everybody. How are you guys doing today? This is a From the Depths tutorial video. I'll be teaching you guys how to build a simple fuel engine. A very, very easy and compact way to build, to power your newest vessels, or ships in general. Let us get started. Okay, so to get fuel engines going, we need to go to the Fuel Engines tab. Then, once we go there, we see this little guy up here, the Fuel Engine Generator. This is the main starting block. The thing you've placed first, of course, for a fuel engine. Without this, all the other parts can just be, well, parts, and it's kind of lying around on the deck here, not doing any good. So, anyways, you see that little yellow nub sticking out of the front of this thing, and the front of this fuel engine generator. That, my friends, is where you shall place the crankshaft. The lovely little blocks that you shall place the cylinders on. I am going to place 2 of these crankshafts here. Again, they transmit the power that the cylinders make, or pistons, whatever you want to call it, to the fuel engine generator. And let us go ahead and place a few of these cylinders. Now then, let us hit N to get mirror mode going. Boom! You see these lovely little pearl looking thingies. I don't know what you want to call them, but I'd just call them a wall, like the one Trump's going to build soon. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys. If you press tab, if you want to rotate a block to place it in a different position, you must press tab. And then you see these 3 little multicolored hula hoops, we shall call them. Yes, hula hoops. And you see those letters bobbing around on them. They say which letters on the keyboard you should press to make the block turn in which direction. We hit A and D to have it turn like this. That was D. That was A. And now this one. We just pressed W right there. Now we just pressed S. Now if you want to just kind of turn it around, you must hit Q and E. That was Q. That was E. And you didn't really see that very well because, well, it's a single little block. Oh well, let's just go ahead and place the sucker and build an engine for you guys. Now, when the cylinders are placed down, they make 10 horsepower, which is pretty good for early vessels. This is going to be a nice little boat that I'm going to show you guys some stuff with these lovely little propellers that shall propel it into the air, to give you guys a kind of form of transportation for a second. And here we go. We are going to boost the power of these cylinders. Right now, again, they produce 10 horsepower. We shall put this carburetor here. It has a high fuel efficiency and a medium amount of power. In other words, it uses like 1.2 fuel to make 100 horsepower, compared to, forget about that. And I almost forgot to tell you guys about another thing. If you want to add more fuel efficiency to your carburetors, you must place a supercharger on top. They are an extra block and add to the volume of your craft, which is not a big worry when we are still building out of the campaign mode. But when we're in the campaign mode, volume will play a critical role. So, if you want to have the most power for the least amount of volume, I would suggest the injector, which, even though it is not the most efficient thing in the world, it can make 200 horsepower, which is quite a lot. I mean, it uses 2.5 fuel compared to like 1.1 fuel, but hey, that's 200 horsepower. That's a good hunk of horsepower. Okay, so now we have this engine that has 600 horsepower. Let us give it some fuel to run off of. Hit E, and go to the Resource tab. Now click Fuel Storage. You'll see this wide assortment of different fuel storage areas. Each one of these, holds the same amount of fuel per size. So like, this little guy holds 2,000 fuel, which I would assume to be 2,000 gallons of fuel, or 2,000 liters, I don't know what it is, but that's 2,000 fuel units. The engines go off of that. But, you know what, because this is just a tutorial, we're going to put a single little, I believe British people call this jerry can. So we're going to place one of these guys right here. It has 1,000 fuel storage capability in it. 1,000 fuel storage, sorry. And now then, once we have that out of the way, I shall show you guys how to make sure that your engines do not overheat. And in this game, when engines overheat, they will quit working. Now then, you saw me just press a random tab right over here, which I kind of did because I do that all the time. Anyways, when you go to the Fuel Engines tab, here's the stuff you use to build the engine itself, including that big radiator up there. Anyways, this is the Exhaust tab. It has all the exhaust pipes that are needed to get the exhaust of the engine, which, is the smelly stuff that comes out the back end of a car, for those of you who don't really know, but I'm pretty sure most of you do know. Anyways, let's just place a couple of these suckers down here, and a couple of these guys here, sorry, and it will, you know what, let's just take one of those off so you can see what happens. Let's take all these off, sorry, to let you guys see what happens if we don't have any of those. Okay, hit it! Let us go ahead and show you guys what happens when we do not have exhaust. I'm going to stick to this so you guys... Oh, that is... Oh, very rocky. Okay. Okay. So, the temperature, as you can see, is just continuing to increase. I'm sorry about the game rocking all over the place. It's just this. I had to place these propellers here so they could use up the horsepower of this awesome fuel generator right here. I know, fuel engine generator. But, okay, yeah. Anyways, the cylinders are starting to get pretty toasty. Like this one over here, it's already going to 28 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius, which is, I believe, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Down over there, I have no clue what that would be in Fahrenheit, but it's about 10 degrees Celsius, or centigrade or something. I have no clue what that is. But anyways, if it were for more extreme uses, then these cylinders would eventually overheat. But to prevent that in the first place, let us just place down a few of these engine exhausts. Let's have this go again. Oh, sorry about that. And if you look, boom! They're on a cloud of lovely smoke. You see, this type of generator, I believe. Yeah, generator. Let's go with that one. It's now it's because it's out and open in the air. It doesn't really need. Well, it's not that much of a worry where its gases go, because I mean they just go up into the air. But if you're building something that is inside the hull of a ship, like this one right here, then you need to funnel it up into the top of, well, these funnels, or smokestacks. There I go, using ship lingo again. Okay, now then, let us wreck these nice little pipes right here, and replace them for some even nicer pipes that we shall use to funnel smoke and gas and stuff that's generally really bad to breathe through these very nice little guys down here. Now then, I'm just gonna put these pipes up here, which are 4-meter long pipes, which I believe translates into about 16 feet. If anybody is watching this video who is British, Please don't yell at me because I'm getting your units of measurement wrong. Okay. Anyways, this thing's long. This thing's a little shorter. This is longer than this one over here. And this one's the shortest one you can possibly get. But all this basically just funnels all the gas away from the engine itself. Now we're just gonna stuff this up here. And why does that always have to happen? And just have it kind of stay up there. It funnels, and as you can see, it funnels the gas from this nice little engine right here up to the top. And, well, that helps cool down the cylinders, which is, again, very good for business. Sorry, just had to say that. I felt kind of in the mood for saying that. Well, this is your basic fuel engine. It has decent fuel consumption, but I'd suggest if you want to have high let me see, high efficiency and well, low fuel usage, which I believe are the same thing, then I'd say just put carburetors, because there is something else that you can use. Turbochargers, I believe they are. They do better when the engine is really working very hard. They are very good when that stuff happens, but I have no clue how to use them at all. So yeah, but that engine that I just showed you how to build, this one right here, well, let's take this ship right here for example. It also has a fuel engine inside of it, but, and I have to zoom through this guy real quick. Oh. Here is its massive engine with its, I believe, 8 banks of cylinders, I believe. Yeah, 8 banks of cylinders. Sorry, 2 banks, 8 rows. Anyways, this thing produces 1,600 horsepower. Our engine back here, it used to produce 600 horsepower. Now it only produces 400 horsepower because I put these guys on here. But, you know what, now that you know how to build one of these, I'm pretty sure it would be quite simple to simply just make it a bit bigger and, well, put it into play like in this ship right here. Right? They're honestly not all that tough to build once you get the basic concepts right. Yeah. But if you don't want to make fuel that this engine right here absorbs, and I pretty much have to build entire ships that are dedicated to making fuel for other ships. If you don't want to do that, then I'd suggest do this next form of engine. The RTG engine or electric engine or something like that. I'm just going to turn off this guy right here so we can rely fully upon this guy right here. Okay, so these are RTGs, of course. Radios, I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of generator that is very expensive, but when you place it down and start using it, it doesn't cost you a dime afterwards. You find it in the resource section, as I can show you right here. It's right up here. You click that, you find the RTGs. But you click right here, you find batteries. Why do we need batteries, you ask? Well, you just kind of, and they hold the energy that these RTGs make, and they convert it, the electric engine over here converts it into power. And as you can see, it has 160 horsepower, or just making 160 horsepower, up in that little screen that popped up right above the little green thing right here. Anyways, the thing that has a ton of words and is a ton of words in the little blue box. That is an RTG engine right there. They're fairly simple to build. But I'd say this one right here is even more simple. But, well, there we go, moving again. Anyways. Oh, and now it's going like a, moving around like a wave. Yay. And I set up the mode so it doesn't even have any waves, so this doesn't make much sense. But, who cares about that? Anyways, this thing, it's still making horsepower, which is the good thing. Now these RTGs, they make a certain amount of energy per second. These tiny little 2-meter tall ones, they make 50 energy per second. There are some others, 4-meter tall RTGs, they make 100 energy per second. Now these humongous RTGs, the 3x3x3, they make 675 energy per second. I have no clue how to calculate how much energy per second you need to be generated for a engine of such horsepower or whatever. But I'm sure whatever it is, I'll figure it out sometime and tell you guys later. But in all my ships, I just use this thing right here. And some of you may be wondering why I have this big pipe jutting out of the engine, aside from the fact that, well, the engine is in the bottom of the boat and you gotta build it way up. Some of you may be wondering, why do I put the engine exhaust up here? Because in this game, it just wants you to get the exhaust out of the vehicle, so you could put some exhaust pipes just sticking right here and blowing down into the ocean. So why don't I do that, you ask? Well, that's because, 1, I just love things that have funnels, and 2, well, these funnels right here, they remind me of Minecraft, and Minecraft is awesome. Minecraft is the best game that I've ever known, aside from this one, because I can build things that move, and in Minecraft you just kind of build something that stays in the same spot forever. Anyways, aside from all the awesome Minecraftiness, the reason why you need one of these tall suckers is because, like, if you have a ship that's in combat, which clearly this ship, since it has no guns, it is not fit for battles and combat and that sort of stuff. Anyways, the reason why you need a tall funnel is because there are some missiles, and yes, I said missiles, that get attracted to heat. And so, they can get attracted to this engine right here, this engine exhaust, and blow up the funnel, instead of going down into the hull right here, finding the engine itself, or going under here if I decided to do that, going around like this, look at my little cursor thing, going right here, and then exploding down on the, and down in the middle of the engine, incapacitating, I think, this boat. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, tall funnels act as distraction, which is a good thing in battle. But because we're not in battle right now, it just looks awesome. And yeah. Well, hope you guys have had a great time watching this video. And until next time, aloha!